What is up, my bodyweight warriors, and welcome back to another video. Today I want to chat to you about this thing that has been sat on my finger now for the past couple of months. This is the Oura ring. Many of you have spotted it in previous videos, and I've been asked literally like 100 times on Instagram if I can do a review on it. So here one is. First of all, I must mention that this is not a paid or a sponsored video. I bought this ring out of my own money early in 2018 on the pre-order. And then it finally came, as I said, about 2 months ago, and I've kind of been wearing it every day since, testing it out, deciding what was good about it, what was bad about it, what I don't like, what I do like, and then I wanted to give you an honest review about my experience with it, personally being kind of a strength and conditioning calisthenics sort of athlete, not an endurance athlete, and just looking at recovery, health, sleep, heart rate variability, etc. That being said, I did reach out to Oura last week saying I'm going to give you a review on my channel. Is there any way that I can offer my audience a discount so that they can save some money if they do want to buy one? And they said, of course there is. So you can grab yourself a discount with the code WARRIOR. I don't personally get anything on it, so I don't care if you use it or not. But if you do want to save yourself money and you want to buy one of these, then go ahead. Right, so what exactly is this metal band, this ring, this Oura ring? This is basically a wearable fitness tracker. It tracks various different markers to give you some feedback into sleep, heart rate variability, daily activity, among a few other things. It's essentially like a Fitbit or an Apple Watch, but it's got a smaller sort of profile. As I said, it's only a ring that fits on your finger. And also it gives you the very, very important heart rate variability, which as far as I'm aware, no other wearable offers out there. I'm not gonna go into everything about this ring because there's plenty of stuff out there already. I'm just gonna share my experience and why I got it, why I found it useful. I bought this ring for two reasons. Number one was to track sleep, and number two was to track heart rate variability. Both of these things I have tracked now for several years using two different apps, and then taking two different measurements that I have to then spend time in the morning looking at to adjust my training, adjust my cycles of training, deloading, etc. The apps I used to use before was Sleep Cycle, which I'm sure many of you have used. It kind of uses a microphone and listens into your sleeping, and somehow, using some magic, gives you an idea of what sleep cycles you go through. For heart rate variability, I've actually made an entire video about this and how to use it, so I'll link that down below. I used an app called HRV for training, and I used to also use a polar heart rate monitor as well. So I'd wake up in the morning, I'd get on my heart rate monitor, strap it around me, and I'd spend 5 minutes taking a heart rate variability reading, and then I kind of look at both sets of data and have a think, see how I feel, and then adjust my training accordingly. This little ring combines both into that, and I don't have to do anything for it. So for me, just on that basis, it's a win-win, and it tends to be pretty damn accurate. First of all, sleep. Sleep is super important. But what is most important about sleep is not necessarily the time that you're sleeping, but actually the quality of the sleep you're getting. And this is one of the biggest realizations that I had from wearing this ring. So I used to set my alarm and I try to aim for about 8 to 9 hours between when I went to sleep and when I got up. When I was doing that with this ring, I actually realized that I wasn't necessarily sleeping for those 8 to 9 hours. I was actually getting 7.5 hours of actual sleep time. So that for me was a bit of a realization. And not only that, but the sleep that I was getting, how good was the quality of it? Because this ring basically gives you a breakdown of REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep, which is to do with your brain recovering, and then also light, and then deep sleep, which is that restorative physical restoration sleep, which is what we want, especially if we're training a lot. Now the numbers kind of changed day to day, but what was interesting to see, what did affect those numbers? What affected my sleep? If I had a big meal late at night, that generally made my sleep worse. If I took some magnesium, that generally made my sleep better. There was all these sort of things that were interesting to do and then really accurately look at and see how it affected my sleep and how I was feeling the next day. Obviously, I'm not super into the numbers. I wasn't stressed out if I got 24% deep sleep versus 26% deep sleep. It was just more interesting. Then when it comes to the heart rate variability, what it does is it actually tracks your heart rate variability throughout the night. So when I get up in the morning, I take my ring off, I put it on the docking station, I pair it with my phone, it just transports all of that data, all my sleep, all of my heart rate variability, and gives it in front of me. And I just put the ring back on and it's done. It literally takes like a minute. So for me, it saves me 5 minutes, 10 minutes each morning to do that. The heart rate variability I did find was actually pretty damn accurate. I did compare it a few days between my one I was using previously, and it was pretty much bang on. You can also compare your resting heart rate on the day to your average, and that will also give you an indication about how stressed out you are, how recovered you are, and whether you need a rest to take it easy, etc. All this data is really, really useful if you are pretty serious about training and programming and want to adjust your training based on that. The only thing that I don't use that the app offers is activity tracking, and that's simply because although I have been wearing it all day, I don't wear it when I train. When I train, I'm doing things like handstands, or I'm doing pull-ups or grip work, and this ring, although it is pretty minimal and I don't notice it most of the time I'm using it, I just can't wear it when I train. One, I'll just scratch it and ruin the ring itself. I have already scratched it a bit, but like doing handstands, doing very hands-on work, I feel like I'm gonna break it, or it doesn't feel super comfortable to use. However, if I was doing some more cardiovascular sports where heart rate mattered, and I was training for different zones, or if I was swimming or running, like something where it didn't matter that it was on my hand, then it would be great and I would use it. Apart from that, I have been wearing it pretty much 24/7. To be honest, I haven't noticed it. I did notice it for the first few days, and then after that I got very much used to it. I don't actually think it looks particularly that bad. It is kind of chunky, but I'm still amazed about what they got inside of such a small space on my hand. So personally, I quite like it. I think it looks okay, but for the things I want it for, I don't even have to wear it in the day if I don't want to. So it doesn't matter how it looks. It's comfortable enough to sleep on. I can just go to sleep and don't have to worry about it. I don't know if I will continue to wear it 24/7. I have been just to test it, but I think probably in future I will only be wearing it at night, because I only really care about sleep and heart rate variability, which is when it tracks those things. A couple of last things to mention was number one, it has an airplane mode, which is amazing because I try to avoid as much as I can some like constant EMF exposure throughout the day, and I don't want to be wearing another thing which is emitting Bluetooth and other stuff on me. So the fact that I can put it in airplane mode, especially when I'm sleeping, it's like by my head, if I'm sleeping like this, then that's great. I like the fact that it has airplane mode. And then because I have to put it on the dock each day to take it out of airplane mode to then sync it with my phone, it gets a little bit of a charge each day. So I find I don't actually have to charge it at all. The battery life on one full charge will last about 6 to 7 days, I think, but I've never really had it drop below 90% because I'd charge it for like 2 minutes a day. So it's basically always good to go. So I'd never have to worry about battery life, which is kind of remarkable really. But that's kind of it. That's my thoughts and ramblings on the Oura Ring. I'm a big fan. I think it is expensive, yes, but if you do have the money, it's definitely worth the investment in sleep and heart rate variability. And as I said, like, you know, you wear it for a year, it's £1 a day to use, which is nothing really. I'm definitely going to continue to use this. As I said, I will probably only be wearing it at night to track my sleep and also my heart rate variability. If I don't do hand balancing and grip orientated work, I probably would be wearing it throughout the day to do training and whatever else as well. But that's it. If you have any questions about the Oura Ring or about this video, why not leave a comment down below and join the conversation. Gladly help out and try and answer them for you. Also, if you just found this video helpful, hit that thumbs up button and support the channel. Right next to it is also that subscribe button if you want to join the Bodyweight Warrior tribe so you don't miss out any more future videos. But that has been it for this week, guys. Have a strong week and peace.